It's finally starting. Hello, everyone. This is Barbara. At any rate, I'm also the president of Artists, Barbara L. Again, and I hope the camera starts moving. Yes, it's back. I found some great pictures of when my son was just an infant, and so I'm going to include this in his little scrapbook. That was a great one with my late dad. And this one, that's a hoot with my mom also. Look at that, how fun. So made me smile. I did get my homeowner's insurance back today. And I have, besides smiling at these pictures, at least I could smile afterwards when I was told I definitely have it. And it's just unbelievable. And I didn't end up going with the state. The state raised it about twice as much within 2 days. Unbelievable. And they didn't even inform the insurance agency. So it just goes to show you, if you get a quote of something from an insurance agent, you better just pay it right away. Immediately run to the bank. Here we thought I thought I had 1 day, I had 1 day to go to the bank, but I shouldn't have waited that 1 day. I should have gone the same day. So, but anyway, it worked out good. And I don't have to pay a yearly fee. I have a monthly fee, which is a little higher, but still it's less than what I would have had to, tie up all my money for a whole entire year. And that isn't good. I mean, they wanted, they wanted a number of thousands of dollars, our own state. So that is very bad, especially senior citizens. You think they wouldn't be doing that to us, but they're doing it. And I was, all for the things our state was doing, because of they helped my son get through college, the 5 years, making sure he always had a scholarship. It wasn't free, but it was at least, scholarships. And but this is ridiculous for them to do that to senior citizens, especially, to raise it, for us to have to pay for if someone passes away in your family, that we have to take over. We have to pay a ridiculous fee when you're a senior citizen. Okay, I'm going to just cut a little bit more. Just like at the border, like I have the border. I like that. It's like a blue border. It looks pretty. And then you have the polka dots. It's so really cool. This book is nice. So you can go to a stationery store if you don't have a scrapbook. Or, get lucky who hopefully you can get one for $9.99 like I did. This book is just a smaller one, and the most important thing is to get a book. Doesn't have to be big, but get a book that can fit your pictures. That you have a large enough book to fit that. And I like the lines in the book. This one has like notebook paper with perfect. Now I just have to glue and get a good glue. You need I have Elmer's glue, and or a glue stick that is a good adhering one. And don't put too much glue on your pictures. You can always add more later, as I've stated before. You could put around the corners. So the worst thing is to have a lot of glue on the page, and then it's globbing all over, and it will ruin the book. You don't want that. So it's better to put a little bit at a time. If it needs more, you'll add it. Trying to go from the bottom of this and squeeze it like toothpaste to see if I can get the rest out. I hate to waste. I have another bottle, but I just don't want to. No sense in wasting glue. And for your book, if you don't want to write things in, you could get, and I've said it before in earlier shows, get the stick-on letters and numbers to label like what your picture is, your theme, and all that. So, decide on what your theme is and have a nice either picture on the cover or put some of your favorite things, or if you're doing it for someone else, their favorite things. And I like to do the writing. And if you want to do the writing and maybe you're not the best at it, then get a calligraphy book. And there's, calligraphy books. You can go into the library, you can go into a store, and look for a calligraphy book. I do have one here. It's buried under all my stuff. To take it out and show you. I can find it. Now I have it finally. And the thing is with this calligraphy book, they give you step by step. So if you're not the best at lettering, you will have like number 1, it says to do 2, 3, 4. So you're not going to have a struggle if you're not the best in lettering. You see it has like step by step. So that's so simple, even if you're not the best in printing or writing. And it gives you all different script, that you can have, but either writing or printing, and it could be Roman. Which I like. I mean, that's great, that I have this in my studio for people that need it. I personally can do my own lettering, but, if I needed this for a student, I have it available. I was even hired once to do lettering. This woman needed for her daughter's 13th birthday. And she was impressed. She said, I did a great job. So fine art, you know, it encompasses everything, you know, with script, everything, because that is a fine art, you know, to be able to do a beautiful script with, I had permanent markers and it came out gorgeous. And I didn't use any book, I just did my own lettering, how I saw fit. And I had never worked on fabric. I've always worked with paper, and I had to do it on fabric. So I had to get a different kind of a permanent marker for, you know, fabric. It's a little different than regular markers that are permanent. You need to have a fabric one. And I did it right. You know, perfect. They said. My first time doing massive lettering was a very big amount of group. Well, very big group for a party. And she kept adding people too. It was more and more. It was always more and more. I'm going to add a little bit more. These are big pictures. They're this camera is like a panoramic camera. I once won a panoramic camera. That's how I had it. Oh, I like that against the edge. Beautiful. And then it has the polka dots. Like one that had lines and polka dots, and it's interesting, you know. So I don't have to do too much for this book because it has its own character. It even has like a page. So, you know, look in the book. Scrapbook. And that has, you know, color to it so that you don't have to put a lot of scrapbooking things in. Because if it's just dull white and there's nothing to it, you know, you're going to have to do a lot of scrapbooking work. Now, if your first scrapbook, I don't think you want to be overwhelmed. You want to just, you know, have fun. So I would definitely look for a colorful one. And one that has lines. It would be easier, you know. You can line everything up. And I've said this before. Now, there are ones that, like I said too the other day, that they have plastic pages and you slide things in, but they don't always stay in place. And the fact that you don't have any of the lines to help you see where exactly you should put a picture, you know, you'll have to be using a ruler and you know, getting it just so. This way, it's so much easier to line it up. You know, all the things on your page, you're going to have to measure it. If you have that plastic book, you're not going to have it a border. These are giving you borders, these line books. I guess that's just about done with this particular tube. I can use my other tube now. Just get a little bit more. Go. This tube just was started, so it's like now it's, it was hard to get it out right away, but now I got it. I got plenty. I like the Elmer's tube because you can spread it with the lid. They give you this great spreader. Wow, this is definitely good glue. You know those glue sticks, they dry out, most of them, right away. But this Elmer's, I'm telling you, unless you get a really good glue stick, not the cheap ones, you have to get a good one. So, if you go to an art and craft store, that's where you can get the good ones. You're going to a dollar store to get glue sticks now. They're not going to be good. You need to go to a real craft store. That's why I say either Elmer's or get a good glue stick. It's going to make the difference in your, holding this book. You want it to hold together. Once you go through all this to put it in, you don't want it to be falling out. Oh, I couldn't have two better pictures. I'm so happy that I found those. And I could put something if I want, but it has the border, and I might just write Grandpa and Grandma because I like to label. It's right in the beginning of the book who they are. And you need permanent markers too. It's very important. So they should say permanent on them. I have all different brands, but they all say permanent. And I got this scissor from the dollar store also, so you have a good scissor. And these are good scissors. It has the steel, yet the plastic handle, and it allows your fingers to go into it. It has nice and long. It's not just real tiny. So like while you're doing all this work, it gets fatiguing if you keep picking up the scissor. If you have a tight one. And this way, the handles are bigger on this. So it's a very good scissor. So I just put Grandpa and Grandma with David, my son, and he was 1, so I put 1. I just love this in the book. I'll show you. So you can write in between, and I was able to fit the whole thing in, Grandma and Grandpa, and with David, and he's 1. So I love that. Those 2 pictures are just superb. If you can get pictures like that, just little writing, little background, it looks great with those dots. And the border of this book is so cool. So now I'm going to go forward because I have more camping pictures. I can't even believe I keep finding them. Here's another one, and he's standing by a flag. And I mentioned in an earlier show, if you have a flag, that is the best thing to take a picture. Look at that, the background with your child. That is superb. This was a camp, but you could take your own flag and put it up with some kind of backboard and take a picture. This would make such a great picture in a scrapbook. And I think I can fit this without cutting it. Oh my gosh, it's a perfect fitting picture. That's the first time. Everything else I had to cut. Oh, I'm so happy. And I can fit that. It's big though. It's long. It's a elongated picture because of the flag. But it's perfect. Just what I want. I won't have to struggle cutting and sizing it, and it's just right, fits in the page. So I don't, across it's good and down it's good. Isn't that something? Okay, so now I'm just going to get a little more glue. And I also could, it doesn't have a labeling. I could put, if I have any more of those camp labels, which were on the, we had great frames, and they had some camp labels, but I don't know if I have any more with the camp label on it. I used, I think, just about every one. Oh, this one has it right. Isn't that something? This one has it right printed on. Look at that. That's great for scrapbooking. Can you see? This, the rest of them don't, but that one has it right on the picture. Terrific. I won't have to label that one. See, so don't throw away the, you know, when you get from camp or the kids do sports, don't throw away the frames, because a lot of times they have great things that you could cut out and put onto your scrapbook. So I kept them all. And if you ever want to outline, you know, a picture, you can even cut a little, you know, gray border. You could cut that out too if you wanted to. So I think I utilized everyone. So I might just print my own camp thing. And I could do it like a picket fence, which would fit for out in the country. And I think that's what I'll do. And I'll have to leave room then for that. Camp, yep, I'll just put camp on top. Perfect. Good thing I looked before I glued it. Always plan it before. Don't just glue something down. Make sure you've got everything before you're gluing something. Because if you start to glue it and you have it down, you're not going to be able to pick it up. That's the only bad thing about when you have a book like this. If you did have the plastic slide-ins, you can move it around. That's one good thing. But other than that, I really don't. I was given that book for free, so I can't complain. But that was really not my choice, because the pictures slide out. You know, it's not the best. And not completely out, but I mean, they just slide around a little bit. So there's a way of, if you buy those little tab things that you could put on there, and they have like double stick edges that could hold it in place. But I didn't have any, and I really am just trying to keep all costs down at this point. I'm not trying to add more costs. My father recently passed away, and you know, just need to watch our budget. He was living with us, and so it's but I do like that book. It really is a beautiful book, and I'm very grateful the person gave it to us for free. And like I said, it doesn't fall out of the book. It's just that it moves around a little bit, and unless you have one picture that is the full size of it, then it won't move around. Okay. Got enough glue on there. I'm putting it down to the last line because I have to write on top. So it's easy, you know, you just match it up with the line, the bottom line. This is a very long picture. Oh, I just love this flag. This is so beautiful. And I hope that everybody, you know, you have a big flag, you can take a picture, especially you could even have the whole family, you know, try to you have a camera that can take the picture while you're all together. Right. And now I'm going to write on here what this picture is. It's with Camp Dean Reback. It doesn't have anything on here about it, what it is. No. Okay. So it would be like the C, you could put like a line in between the middle of it. And the A, like I'm doing, I did one side of the A and did it sort of circular, and then the other side matching, and then the middle I'll put, you know, another little 2 lines. So this is like broken fence printing, see? So that's how you do it. And leave spaces between your letters. I'll show you so far. See? So that's the picket fence lettering, and I'm almost done. Camp Genie, I want to put Reback. And I did it off like at the second letter of the first word. And now I'm going to do the third letter of the first word. It looks better. Oh, this was fun. I like doing the picket fence lettering. There you go. Camp Genie Reback, so I know what that picture is. And I love it. I love that picture with the flag. I was born on 4th of July. My son was born on Memorial Day. My grandfather was born on Flag Day. My father was born on Election Day. And my mother was born on President's Day. I think we're a very patriotic family, don't you? So now you know why I love the flag. So definitely. And I got another great picture. Look at the camp. I like that. And they got the patriotic red, white, and blue there. Perfect. Just perfect. Now, this is an elongated one, so I have to cut it. And I hate to, cut off. I don't want to cut off any of the kids. I hope it fits completely. I'm lucky my son's in the middle here because if I, have to cut off anything, at least I'm not cutting off him. But I really don't want to cut the kids off either. It's a good remembrance. All right, I think I got everyone in. Yeah. Just maybe a little teeny more. A little bit more. I want to cut. Okay. And he liked everybody in camp, and good remembrance. Everybody's in the picture. That's good. And now, I think I still need a little bit more. Oh, just a little bit more. I hate to cut. I don't want to cut too close to their faces, so I'm trying to be very careful. Yep, I got them all in there. All the faces are still in there. Okay. I love nature where, these pictures, they have such a great background. Couldn't be better. Especially for scrapbooking. If you have outdoor trees and the like. Okay, so now I've got that in, and I'll look to see what else I can put on here. I have some stickers, different things. And it does have a sign for camp, and I could see it visibly. It's not big, but I can see it, so we know what it is. Oh, it even has a year on there too. It says 2000. That's 15 years ago. Nice mint candy and different things as rewards of doing, different chores. My son always was willing to help. And that's why they hired him as assistant bike counselor. And he didn't get hired late. It was, I've said this before, he was only 11 when they first hired him. And he did a very responsible job helping fix the bikes. And there were 150 kids, and he was fast. He was fast with his hands, and he fixed the bikes perfectly. Of course, they had, a counselor in charge of him, and but he was the assistant, and he always, checked whatever he did, and he did a great job. Okay. And he was 11. I'll write that. Now, I think I want to write also anything else here interesting. That's when he was assistant bike counselor. He was made, so I'm going to put assistant. A little note to myself, that's when he was assistant bike counselor. And being at 11, he was given great responsibility. I said it before. He was put in charge of 150 kids one day. The bike counselor couldn't be there. And he handed him the keys, and I get a call that they wanted him to watch the 150 kids. And I go, oh my gosh, that's a lot of responsibility. I know he can handle it, but it's still pressure. I mean, I know he could do a good job. I know it would be thorough because he makes sure every single bike is working in great condition, that the kids are safe. He looks after them. And but I still worried because it's a big responsibility, someone 11. And I'm surprised they even called me to remind me, because he was so responsible. He could watch 150 kids and fix 150 bikes. He didn't need to be reminded to bring his keys. but they did, they reminded him, but I didn't even need to remind him. He had the keys ready to go that morning. And eager beaver. And he did a great job. Every kid was safe and every bike was fixed. He made sure before they took off. So that's why, this is a special picture. And he's right in the center there. There is my son right in the center. That's David. So I have labeled it. I put the little stickers. That's a great picture. Well, I thank you, for watching today. And I hope that everybody has a good rest of the week. Enjoy your weekend. And I'll be back on Monday. And I just want to say a miraculous healing prayer for anyone that needs it. A prayer of peace. A prayer of good health and strength and spirit. And it doesn't matter what religion. I'm praying for everyone in the world and everyone, hopefully you won't need this prayer, but God heals 100%. I just say the prayer. Well, thank you so much for watching the scrapbooking, and I hope you tell people, please, to sign up for Google Hangouts, Barbara L. Sue. And, this can be, also watched on YouTube. So if they miss, the chance of watching it now. So please, let people know. And I greatly appreciate that everybody, you're just wonderful that you're watching and contributing. I get comments, and I'm so happy to hear, even all the way from Italy, just yesterday. And I heard from one of the people that watch, and I mentioned that yesterday, and I thank again, it was very kind of people to respond and tell me they're enjoying, the show. And I thank you so much. Again, have a great night or day, depending on where you are in the world. Okay, bye now.